So you've been wanting to research companies, but you don't necessarily have the time to do it yourself, or you don't know how to do it yourself. In this series of videos, I'm going to be going step by step through my entire process from beginning to end on how I find companies, what I look for when I do my initial research on the companies. If they pass my initial research, how do I value and evaluate them after reading their financial statement? I will go step by step, including valuations when we get to that point, in how to evaluate companies. My name is Jason Rivera, and welcome to Value Investing Journey Case Studies. Hey, Jason here. In this case study video, we're continuing on with the ASXFY case study. So why are you looking at my face instead of the actual annual reports? Because I've already gone through 50 pages of the annual report. Not any much information at this point. It's just up to this point, shareholder letter, CEO letter, director letter, executive remuneration and pay, director pay, those kind of things. So what I want to talk about today is the first time you go through a company will take the longest. The first time you go through any company will be the longest. You'll take the most notes. You'll have to read every single word still, and it will just generally take probably double, triple the time that it normally will take after you kind of go through the process the first time. So what happens kind of the second time I go through a company, which this is the second time we're going through the annual. If you watch the previous videos, we went through all of the 2017 annual report for ASXFY, and then literally as I was finalizing the video for to finish up the last video on the 2017 annual report, they released their 2018 annual report. So we of course need to go through the most recent information. Going through the annual reports and quarterly reports and financial reports the second time, again, will take you far less time. I still read everything typically word for word unless I can specifically tell it's from the previous annual report. What I'm looking for when I go through a different annual report or different quarterly report, different proxy report, whatever it is, after I go through the company, kind of initially get a good feel for what the company does, take a ton of notes, usually 20-25 pages of notes. What I do when I go through a subsequent annual reports or quarterly reports or proxy reports is I'm looking for information that is different than the previous report that I read, like new updated information, new compensation plans, new executives, new directors, different wording to some of their statements, because frankly most companies, they kind of just repeat most information through annual reports. I mean, they change words here and there, but they generally kind of keep the same structure. So those are the kind of things I look for when I go through the company the second time. Again, I still read everything word for word unless I can tell specifically that it's pretty much word for word, except for the kind of number change or whatever the specific paragraph or sentence is. But that's mainly what I'm looking for. So the first kind of 1/3 to 1/2 of typically the subsequent annual reports, quarterly reports, proxy reports are, again, this is places where they talk about shareholders letter, directors report, goals of the company, pay in this case for executives in ASXFYs, these are the kind of things. So I've already gone through 50 pages of the annual report. It's 100 pages this in 2018. I think it was 87 or something like that for 2017. The reason it's longer that I've noticed so far is they've not necessarily changed how they do things, but they've changed and added more graphics to their annual report. So it's easier to digest the information. They've changed some kind of their marketing and how they market things and how they sell things in terms of how they position things to investors. But in general, up to this point, everything's, other than the kind of strategic kind of top level changes, nothing much has changed at this point. I will include the notes that I've taken up to this point, including the first 50 pages, but frankly, I've only added a couple pictures, and it's just updated information at this point. Updated executive pay, updated updated reports on how they kind of structure things. I think I added maybe 5 pictures that I took screenshot, or that I took with my snipping tool, and kind of copied and pasted it into my notes. But that's why I'm not talking about much at this point. The first half, again, after you read the first kind of set of initial reports, the first third to first half of subsequent annual reports in this case, pretty much just same information. You just got to read it and make sure there's no major changes, no major tone changes, no major kind of events that they announce. If they do, you need to figure out what those are, obviously, and if they're important. What else do I look for in the subsequent annual reports? In the first third to first half, it's mainly just kind of tone changes from the management, making sure they're being truthful and you can still trust them, those kind of things. In this case, it's a little bit different because they've changed kind of their top level, again, marketing strategy or positioning strategy. So it's a little bit different. But the second half to final 2/3 of the annual report, depending on the company, that's where you get the new information, typically on the operations, their updated balance sheets, cash flow statements, income statements, all this kind of stuff. So the next video will have more detailed information. But up to this point, again, I didn't want to waste your time watching a 20-30 minute long video of me going through the annual report up to the 50 pages at this point, because frankly, you'd be bored to death, because I was bored to death reading it. So, because it's almost exactly the same thing as last year's, again, other than their kind of positioning, marketing change. So if you have any questions, you want to get caught up, this is a good time to get caught up in this case study. In our previous 6, 7, 8 videos on ASXFY on just this company alone that we have. We also have the Filipino companies that we've talked about in this series. If you want to, again, if this is a good time to get caught up, before we get kind of back into the nitty-gritty of the financial reports and the new information, the new balance sheet, new cash flow statements, all that kind of stuff. So, which we'll do next week. But I'm including the notes below this, whether you're watching on YouTube or on the blog, that are updated up to this point. Again, not much has changed. I added a couple new pictures that had some updated financial information in, but other than that, that will be mostly in the second half of this financial statement, or in this annual report. So if you like this video, make sure to watch our other ones. If you like this video, make sure to watch our other playlist where we talk about value investing in your car episodes, where we talk about things like the 4 most useless investing metrics, the 3 most useful investing metrics. Answer the question, when does value investing work best? Why does it work best in certain situations? All these kind of things. We also have this case study series, obviously. We have free training series. We have my thoughts on different things like cryptocurrencies and gold and silver, and that series as well. So make sure to watch those. If you find this video interesting, make sure to like, love, share, whatever, wherever you're watching this. Really appreciate it. Make sure to comment below. I'm very active in the comment section. I always answer comments in all of our videos anytime we get a comment. And if you like the video or like our other videos, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell so you're notified anytime we release a new video. And as of this recording, we're up over 350 videos now. So make sure to subscribe and hit the bell so you're notified anytime we release a new video. And until next time, thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye.